Welcome to This Explainer. There's this comforting illusion in the restaurant industry. We tend to cling to these familiar manual back-office routines simply because they've, always worked. But today, we're unpacking a pretty harsh reality. Those trusted processes are actually masking massive, silent financial losses.
So ask yourself, are your trusted spreadsheets quietly costing you? Because if you're still juggling paper invoices, running reports by hand, or relying on totally disconnected systems, the answer is a resounding yes. You are absorbing severe hidden costs in time, labor, and revenue that are just quietly chipping away at your bottom line. Okay, let's break this down. We're going to tackle these hidden costs in 4 quick parts: the time and labor drain, costly blind spots, the scaling paradox, and finally, stopping the bleed.
Let's jump right into part 1, the time and labor drain. It's no secret that labor is your absolute biggest controllable expense, right? But honestly, it's kind of wild that for so many operators, scheduling still means a manager sitting in the back office, squinting at coffee-stained notebooks, and just making educated guesses based on what they remember from last week. Overstaffing on a slow Tuesday or understaffing during a Friday rush, those are the direct, very costly results of manual scheduling.
And think about the process of getting those numbers. Stitching business data together by hand is, it's a total multi-step nightmare. You're exporting from different POS systems, reformatting spreadsheets, hand-keying invoice data, and then hunting down the inevitable typos. It is a massive time sink. This busy work pulls your managers right off the floor, which is exactly where they should be coaching teams and driving the guest experience.
So how do we fix it? To reclaim those lost hours, that manual filter literally has to go. By automating your invoice capture, setting up daily auto-reconciliation, and switching over to real-time dashboards, you completely eliminate the risk of human error. Because let's be real, a single misplaced digit can trigger duplicate payments or inventory disasters that take hours, if not days, to untangle.
All right, moving on to part 2, costly blind spots.
Now, a 2 to 3% inventory variance? On paper, that just looks like a tiny rounding error. But wait, spread that across multiple locations and a full menu? Those handwritten counts, subjective portion sizes, and delayed spreadsheets, they quickly snowball into thousands of dollars in invisible, lost profit every single month. It adds up so fast.
Here's the harsh reality. Outdated data totally blinds you to revenue opportunities. When your inventory tracking is inconsistent, you just can't spot the red flags. By the time a stale report tells you food costs are rising, the damage is already done. The product is gone, the prep is finished, and the next overpriced delivery has already hit your loading dock.
And this creates a massive divide in the industry. On one side, you have reactive managers relying on delayed reports, finding out their margins shrank weeks after the fact. But on the other side, proactive managers. They use real-time AI dashboards to course-correct mid-shift. They adjust labor and track pricing dynamically before the day even ends. It's all about transforming guesswork into measurable predictability.
Plus, constantly chasing invoices and reconciling bank statements doesn't just cost money, it causes severe manager burnout. You really have to shift your team from task work to strategic work. Automate those reports, monitor trends on live dashboards, and give your managers the actual bandwidth to strategize. That is how you move the business forward.
Okay, part 3, the scaling paradox.
Obviously, growth is the ultimate goal, right? But that introduces what we call the scaling paradox. This happens when a restaurant expands, but its administrative burden actually grows even faster. You start adding more back-office staff and disconnected tech tools until suddenly your back office becomes a major bottleneck. The efficiency that growth should create is just completely swallowed up by a mountain of new overhead.
In scaling those manual processes, it drastically multiplies your compliance risks. Incorrect paychecks trigger wage disputes. Tip pooling errors invite employee claims, and missed meal breaks, those can result in crippling fines and class action lawsuits. As you cross state lines with all those different overtime rules, manual management becomes a massive legal liability. It's just a risk you don't want to take.
To survive this paradox and scale safely, your systems absolutely must be united. Consolidate your back-office functions into one standardized workflow. Automate the data across all your locations, and arm your regional managers with shared dashboards. By clearing out that system clutter, you can seamlessly manage way more restaurants with the exact same or even fewer people.
Which brings us to our final section, part 4, stopping the bleed.
So what's the ultimate solution? It's replacing that tangled web of disconnected tools with one integrated AI-driven platform.
Modern tech solutions like Restaurant 365 act as a central hub. They unite your accounting, inventory, payroll, and reporting right into a single system. It completely eliminates the need for manual data transfers.
And within these unified platforms, AI fundamentally flips the script on your workflow. It instantly syncs your POS and accounting data. It forecasts optimal staffing by analyzing complex sales trends alongside stuff like local weather patterns. It automatically flags irregular invoices and predicts supply issues before they even happen. It just runs quietly in the background, learning your purchasing patterns so your operation can scale smarter, not just harder.
All of this leaves us with one really vital question. Are you still waiting until the end of the month to find out if your business actually made money? Because the best operators out there, they know their margins every single day. The technology is already here to stop the manual bleed. So, are you ready to finally plug those leaks and give your team the clarity they deserve?